nation is now important. Joining me now, Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Secretary Rubio, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. I want to start with this big picture question. Is the United States in a war with Venezuela?
It's not a war. We are at a war against drug trafficking in the United States. It's not a war against Venezuela. We are enforcing American law with regards to sanctions. We have sanctioned entities. We go to court, we get a warrant, we seize those boats for warrant, and that will continue. Big strikes against drug floats that are bringing drugs towards the United States, that are being operated by transnational criminal organizations, including the cartels of Soles. Of course, the leader of that cartel is now in U.S. custody and facing U.S. justice in the Southern District of New York, and that's Nicholas Maduro. So we made a big progress in that regard.
Mr. Secretary, who is in charge? Are you running Venezuela right now?
Yeah, I keep people fixated on that. Here's the bottom line. We expect to see changes in Venezuela. Changes of all kinds, long-term, short-term, we'd love to see all kinds. But the most immediate changes are the ones that are in the national interest of the United States. That's why we're involved with how it applies and has a direct impact on the United States. We are not going to be able to allow our hemisphere a country that becomes a crossroads for the activities of adversaries around the world. We just can't allow it. We can't have a country where the people in charge of its military, in charge of its police department, are openly cooperating with drug trafficking organizations. We're not going to allow them. These things are direct threats to the United States, and we intend to use every element of leverage that we have to ensure that changes. The one I would point everyone to is that our military is helping the Coast Guard conduct a law enforcement function, which is not just the capture of Maduro, but the enforcement of our sanctions. We go to court, we get a warrant, we seize the boats. And we think this is tremendous leverage, incredible, crippling leverage, which we intend to continue to use until we see the changes that we need to see that are benefit to the American people, and by the way, we believe to the people of Venezuela as well.
But Mr. Secretary, I think there's a lot of questions about who the good people are during this transition. President Trump said we're going to run the country. So is it you? Is it Secretary Hegseth? Who are those people who will be running the country specifically?
Well, it's not running policy. The policy with regards to this, we want Venezuela to move in a certain direction because not only do we think it's good for the people of Venezuela, it's in our national interest. It either touches on something that's a threat to our national security or touches on something that's either beneficial or harmful.
And are you involved in that transition?
So obviously I'm very involved in this. Well, I think everyone knows I'm pretty involved on politics in this hemisphere. Obviously, the Secretary of State and National Security Advisor are very involved in all these elements. The Department of War plays a very important role here, along with the Department of Justice, for example, because they're the ones that have to go to court. So this is a team effort by the entire National Security apparatus of that country. But it is running the policy. The goal of the policy is to see changes in Venezuela that are beneficial to the United States.
Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down, Gigi.
Evade. Press forward. You should know. Victory, the only option. Fine. You're done.
Once in the national history of the United States, and also beneficial for the people of Venezuela. And those are the things that we're focused on right now. No more drug trafficking, no more Iran has below preference there, and no more using the oil industry to enrich all our adversaries around the world and not benefiting the people of Venezuela, and frankly, benefiting the United States and the region.
Talk about a holistic transition. I think there's a lot of focus.
Come to the light, come to the light.
How soon will elections be held?
Everything is Hey guys.
Elections? Well, we look at this. And this is a country that's been governed by this regime now for 14 or 15 years. The elections should have happened a long time ago. The elections did happen. They lost them, and they didn't count the votes, so they refused to count the votes, and everyone knows it. So all of that, I think, is premature at this point. There's a lot of work to be done here. Right now, we are focused on, let's be realistic with it, what we are focused on right
I didn't
now,
expect Miyabi to be
all
that.
of the
Why
problems
didn't
we
she?
had with
I still can't wrap my head around this.
We are going to give people an opportunity to address those challenges and those problems. Until they address it, they will continue to face this oil quarantine. They will continue to face pressure from the United States. We will continue to target drug boats if they try to run towards the United States. We will continue to seize the boats that are sanctioned with court orders. We will continue to do that and potentially other things until the things we need to see addressed are addressed. Because ultimately, above everything else, we care about elections, we care about democracy, we care about all of that. But the number one thing we care about is the safety, security, well-being, and prosperity of the United States. And that's what we're going to focus on first and foremost here. And that's what these policies these changes that we see made are about.
Okay, significant there. You say you will continue to seize votes when necessary. I want to ask you about boots on the ground. Attention on that. The president was asked about the possibility of U.S. boots on the ground. He said, quote, "We're not afraid of it." How many U.S. forces are on the ground right now in Venezuela? Are there any?
We don't have U.S. forces on the ground. But we don't have U.S. forces on the ground. They were on the ground for about 2 hours and captured the hill. And I think what the president's saying is very simple. That is, the president of the United States, he is not going to go around calling people in this country.
Ready. Let me share the love. Not even close. Sure. Let me at him. Let me at him. Sure. Not even close. Time to charge. Ready. Let me at him. Okay. Time to shine. Sure. Ready. Let me share the Not one step further. Sure. Let me at him. Okay. Ready. Sure. Time to shine. Ready for a fiery feast. Okay. Ready. Sure. You still like that? Good. Let me at him. Time to shine. Sure. The final act begins now. Let me at him. And here. A little gift for ya. Caesar. Nice work, Bernice.
We cannot continue to have the largest oil reserves in the world under the control of adversaries of the United States, not benefiting the people of Venezuela, and stolen by a handful of oligarchs around the world, including inside of Venezuela, but not benefiting the people of that country. We've seen how our adversaries all over the world are exploiting and extracting resources from Africa, from every other country. They're not going to do it in the Western Hemisphere. They're not. That is not going to happen under President Trump. Read our national security strategy. He is serious about it, and he's going to do something about it. We're doing something about it.
Let me ask you about the president says the U.S. is taking over the oil. The question is, I guess, if the purpose of the operation was to capture Maduro and bring him to justice.
I knew you'd be the first to find me. Guess taking that chance worked out.
Well, we don't need to. First of all, let me put back up. We don't need Venezuela oil. We have plenty of oil in the United States. What we're not going to allow is for the oil industry in Venezuela to be controlled by adversaries of the United States. You have to understand, why does China have the oil? Why does Russia have the oil?
Ready. Yeah.
Okay. Watch your blind spot. Let's make this quick.
Let me at him. Let me at him.
Sure. Okay.
Bernie. Time to shine.
Sure.
Ready. Let me share the load. I'll keep it burning. And here. Time to out of the way.
Missed me. Okay.
Time to There's more to battle. The glory. This party is just getting started. Let me at him.
The final act begins now.
Ready.
Okay.
Let me at him. Let me kind of
It was nothing like the Middle East other than the Iranian agents that are running through their plotting against America. These are Western countries.
As expected. The results match my previous
cultural level and ties to the United States. So there's nothing like that. So I think people need to stop ascribing apples and oranges. The apples of the Middle East and the oranges of the West. This is fundamental in the United States. And what I'm confident of is we are in a safer and better place than we're taking it seriously. The alternative would have been to leave Maduro there, indicted with drug trafficker, illegitimate president, running the country, open invitation for all of our adversaries to do whatever they want against the United States from Venezuela. That was not going to continue. What the alternative would have been to allow a drug trafficker to continue to use national territory and elements of nation-state control to further drug trafficking organizations. Read the indictment. This guy used the left.
Welcome back to Jimmy Harris, first level editor at Hugh Jeffries of New York. Peter Jeffries, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. We obviously have to start with the capture and indictment of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. You have called him a, quote, criminal and authoritarian dictator who has oppressed the people of Venezuela for years. Is Venezuela better off?
Let me at him.
Okay. No escape.
Caesar. I'll help. Time to shine. Bernie, let me at him.
Okay.
Let me share the load. Time to shine. Bernie, ready.
Sure.
Let me at him. a taste of the abyss. Time to die! Okay. Nice work, Bernice.
Well, you just had my conversation with Secretary Rubio.
Sure. Hey! Let's have some fun! Ready! Okay. Time to shine! Let me share the love! Let me at him! I won't budge! Even one step! Bernie! Sure. There's no retreat now. Drink slow and we're rolling. Okay. Ready. Yep. Being happy is what counts. This party is just getting started. Here's a taste of the abyss. There's more to battle. The glory. Not even close.
So we can check the healthcare understand. So we're about to experience increased health concern premiums, co-pays, and funding. In some instances, health insurance will increase by $1,000 or $2,000 That's completely and totally unacceptable, and Republicans have a responsibility to partner with us as Democrats to stop it, to protect the healthcare of everyday when we successfully we bipartisan in the Senate, every single Senate Democrat, and every single Senate Republican. Is capable of tax credits. The laws exist to pass it in the Senate. Absent
One step further.
it doesn't protect the
Ready for a fiery feast? Now, you're the prey.
people and they continue to fix our local health issues and address the healthcare crisis that's devastating everyday Americans, including resort anytime, any place, with anyone in order to find a bipartisan path forward to enact a spending
Unbelievable.
that actually makes life
Oh,
better
we
for
actually
the
did
people. As Democrats, we're committed to driving down the high cost of living that exists in this country. Donald Trump promised on day one of his presidency that Republicans would lower costs. Costs haven't gone down. Costs have gone up. Housing costs out of control. Grocery costs out of control. Utility bills out of control. Healthcare costs out of control. We're committed to actually addressing the needs of the American people. That's one of the problems with this action in Venezuela. How does it actually improve the quality of life of everyday Americans? How is it in America's national security interest? Why doesn't Donald Trump and their administration focus on dealing with the affordability crisis? That is not a hoax. It's very real, and something meaningful needs to be done about it. That's the Democratic commitment.
Leader Jeffries, let me ask you, because Tuesday marks the 5th anniversary of the January 6th attack on the Capitol. House Democrats are planning to hold a hearing criticizing President Trump's decision to pardon all of the rioters. And I wonder, is there anything tangible that you anticipate coming from this hearing, or is this hearing for show?
It's a sensitive hearing. It'll be about the concerns that have been raised by people all across this country as to the fact that on his first day in office, Donald Trump pardoned hundreds of violent felons who brutally attacked the Capitol and beat police officers, more than 140 who were seriously injured. Psychological and physical damage that was done that is permanent in nature, and it was all part of Donald Trump's effort to halt the peaceful transfer of power, which is one of the bedrocks of American democracy. We're in our 250th year of representative government. Our democracy is not perfect, but it's a glorious thing, and it fundamentally has to be protected and preserved. So, at minimum, on this 5th anniversary of that horrific attack on the U.S. Capitol, we're going to address issues of concern related to ensuring we continue to have free and fair elections. We've got to get rid of this compliant Republican Congress who function like a reckless rubber stamp of Donald Trump's extreme agenda, as opposed to actually trying to enact policies that make life better for the American people. That's at the essence of our democracy. And so on Tuesday, it'll be an important hearing. We'll hear from Americans from across the ideological spectrum about the horrors of January 6th and why we've got to make sure that something like that never happens again.
All right, very busy time in this new year on Capitol Hill. We'll be tracking all of it. Leader Jeffries, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, and Happy New Year.
They just be talking in circles.
Who came up with the idea to get me this? But it's G. It's 2020.
There's been a mix of support and condemnation from leaders around the world. I think a profound sense of shock that this could have looked in that the international rules-based world order had been upended in this way. Here in Latin America, neighboring countries to Venezuela, pretty much roundly condemned this operation, calling on the United Nations to meet, with the possible exception of Argentina leadership, quite close with Donald Trump. There have been protests here in Colombia outside the US Embassy, protests in Buenos Aires, one side reading Trump, oil is your drug. So I think there's real concern here in Latin America about what America's motivations might be here. As you would imagine, for Maduro, the former Maduro regime's allies in Iran, China and Russia, they have completely condemned this, calling this a flagrant breach of international law. But America's allies in Europe have been more circumspect. They've not wanted to criticise the operation out of hand. They prefer to stay on the one side, the hands-off Donald Trump. They say simply that Maduro will not be missed. But the hands-off Venezuela protest movement that is gathering momentum around the world, from Paris to Rome, Madrid and Barcelona. People really concerned about what it means when the United States says they want to run Venezuela. Of course, for the millions of Venezuelans now wondering what happens next. Yeah.
All right, James Longman, our thanks to you this morning. We appreciate it.
I want to start first, though, with my colleague Rachel Maddow, host of MS Now's The Rachel Maddow Show. Rachel, thank you for joining us and welcome to the show. You've been following this all morning. What do you make of this? It's a very, very big development in a months-long effort against Venezuela.
Yeah, I'm really interested to hear what the president has to say in this remarks from the White House that are planned for just a little under an hour from now. I feel like in the context, when you think about what the United States just did, I think there are very few Americans right now who have any idea why the United States did this. If this was about drug trafficking, then why did President Trump just pardon the former president of Honduras, who was convicted of sending hundreds of tons of drugs into the United States? If this was about something about the illegitimacy of Maduro's election, well, that's something that the U.S. is decrying any other country policing. We just sanctioned Brazil for having tried to protect itself from a coup by its former president, Jair Bolsonaro. I mean, if it's about gangs, we have the president of El Salvador, who is believed by U.S. law enforcement to be very linked with the notorious gang MS-13, which has caused incredible damage in the hemisphere, including in the United States. He's invited into the Oval Office, and the president says that he's looking
It's our turn, bro.
Americans to...
Come on, let's get to work.
Ooh, we really harmonized.
So, all of the...
It's our turn, bro.
...for what's happened here. Don't stand up to logical scrutiny.
Touch me, too. I'll give you a hand. Promise to tell me if anything's wrong, okay?
This seems like Marco Rubio's dream.
Need something? I shall follow you.
Come on, let's get to work.
What the president is able to piece
I'll give you a...
I'm at your...
Good day.
I shall...
Nothing to fear. The cunning hairs are here.
So,
It's our turn, bro.
You break it, you own it.
Is the concert started?
How can I help?
Standing by.
Headmaid Rena. Looking for intel? Or hiring me for a job?
If you need help...
I need superhero Yannick. Touch me.
Promise to tell me if anything's wrong, okay?
The president of that country, but happy to hear America first rationale for it.
And the administration kind of sort of laid a little bit of it out in its national security strategy that came out a little while ago. This whole concept, sort of a renewal of the Monroe Doctrine, that what happens in our hemisphere is our business and what happens elsewhere is someone else's business. That said, this is the interesting question. Donald Trump wanted to get rid of Maduro in his first term. Marco Rubio, as you said, is very determined to have gotten rid of Maduro and says that there's nothing else to happen now that they've got him. The question is what happens, because Venezuela is a country, and we don't necessarily know what the plan is.
Makes sense. Now you can make it. Meet Replit Agent. Want a custom workout plan? Make an app for that. Have a great idea at 2 a.m.? Make an app for that. Need to run an analysis? Or learn with your kids? Make an app for that too. This isn't just making apps. This is your imagination unleashed. Describe what you want. You want to come to life. No coding experience, right from your phone.
You're right. Exactly. I mean, the president in his remarks on actually budget as well.
Let our souls resonate! Catch the rhythm! 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 I'm here!
There's lots of countries around the world with de facto, arguable, official dictatorships. If it is now,
Change is mine, as the sword will. But my song means everyone. I'm here. It's life. Drifting clouds! Stage is mine.
You bring up the perceived illegitimacy of the Maduro government. Fair enough. The idea that he's an authoritarian, also fair enough. We don't often succeed in the second part of this, the regime change part. It's not even obvious that that's happening. For instance, we're getting reporting that the vice president of Venezuela may be in Russia at this point. But this isn't necessarily regime change. This is the capture of Maduro, who will be arraigned in New York at a trial. But we're not sure that we got regime change, and there's those who argue that probably should be there.
My turn! Incoming! Leave it to me! Drifting clouds! Alright, my turn! Catch the rhythm! Okay. As the sword will, my song move everyone. I'm here. Wanna run? Watch! Don't blink now. I'll be fine. Drifting clouds. Stage is... As the sword wills. Leave it to me. This song is dedicated to the world. This won't hurt. Not.
This would be
Alright, I'll take the mind's evil riches. A measure of steel slices the world through. I'm here. Fine.
And by the way, even if you did have faith, historically, when we've gotten involved in regime change, two things can happen. You can either stabilize a country and a region through regime change, or you can destabilize it. More often than not, we destabilize it. Even when sober people are in charge of the operation, we bring up an important point that move it. This administration
I'll take you.
Fine. Drifting clouds.
Move it.
As the sword goes.
I'll take you.
Catch the rhythm. Watch. My turn. I'll be fine.
Yeah, brother.
This won't hurt.
Get in here.
Out of my way.
Close the door, please. Close the door, please. Close the door.
Move it.
Close the door.
Alright, drifting clouds. Let me give you a little treat. Like this. Leave it to me.
Sit down.
Smash him. Guess what? Out of my way! Guess what? I'll take you.
My turn. Okay, the stage is mine.
I'll take you.
Drifting cloud. All right. I'll
Smash 'em! Out of my way!
Yeah. The stage is mine. Drifting cloud. All right. The line is gone.
It's over. That I was convicted of smuggling hundreds of pounds of cocaine. Then none of from healthcare administrations, from which the bad foreign policy decisions is that when the things they are saying are the reason.
Oh, a little bird flew across the sky.
Just ask yourself what it's really for. And in this case,
my turn. It's getting stronger. Stand down. Let our souls resonate. This will hurt. Wait. The sword follows my will and wins power to heaven. The Yeshun Guan will give place summons, breaking all illusions.
I was thinking my paper shell and I got shit all over.
Catch the rhythm.
That's why I was you know? Don't let people over like Velvet. You know how like they get the four figure so sweet and North Face?
Leave them to me. All right, time for an encore. Let me give you a little treat, like this.
There you go.
Right back at ya. Behind you.
that really strong men and authoritarian leaders like to
since he was sworn into office.
Get behind me! I see ash. My soul is with you! Behave and watch the music. This won't hurt. I'll be fine. Catch the rhythm. A measure of chill slices the world through. Let this sword array send you away.
This seems to be mostly about oil and natural resources. Donald Trump's entire foreign policy is Russia, Middle East, and Israel. It's all about making money for his friends. And Wall Street, the oil industry, making a lot of money on Venezuela if they can run. So now it's a new invasion. Announcement of a group of Wall Street investors, energy industry investors, planning a trip to Venezuela to make money off of this invasion, off of this ousting. So unfortunately, once again, you see that this president's foreign policy, the invasion of Venezuela, the ouster of Maduro, is about making his crowd filthy rich. It has nothing to do with American national security.
Can I just go back to the legality and the point that you made about needing to come to Congress first? You know that for decades, Congress has let Democratic and Republican presidents sort of go for it on military actions. I mean, look at President Obama in Libya. And so it's not new that Congress has become, frankly, impotent on issues and matters of war.
That's absolutely true. And Congress needs to own its own role in allowing a presidency to become this lawless. The fact of the matter is that the president's justification makes no sense. He says that this was just a law enforcement operation. Well, there are people with warrants all over the world. That doesn't give the President of the United States the power to launch a billion-dollar invasion of those countries to bring a fugitive to justice. Yes, Congress should have stepped in, but it was prohibited President Obama's actions in Libya. Yes, the United States is the silent side of the president's bringing up foreign policy, but that doesn't mean such gives a pivotal reality to this massive invasion of a country that the American public can ask.
You know, there's no question Maduro was a destabilizing force, not just in Venezuela.